Hi, I'm Craig, and welcome back to another on-the-road video brought to you by ApplianceVideo.com. Today, we will take a look at this Amana freestanding gas range. We will show you how to remove and replace your bake igniter. Now, let's begin the repair. Stop. Before beginning any repair, always be sure to disconnect the power to the appliance. It is also recommended to test the outlet for the proper voltage. Remember to also turn off the gas. The tools needed for this repair is a number 2 Phillips screwdriver and a 5/16 nut driver. The main reasons why you'd be replacing a bake igniter is if it will intermittently not heat or will not heat at all. First, we must take out our racking, slide out and lift up. Do the same to the other and set it aside. Next, we will remove the door. To do so, grab the locking tabs and pull them back. When you do this, when you start to close the door will rest on the locking tabs, allowing you to push forward and pull out on the hinges. So push forward, pull out, and set your door aside. Next, you must remove the bottom drawer. Simply pull out, lift up, and remove. Now we will reach underneath and remove the wiring for the igniter. Now to access your igniter and burner tube, there is a plate here that will have to be removed. It is held on by 2 Phillips screws in the back. Remove these, lift up on the plate, pull out, and set it aside. We also have 2 screws here and here that will have to be removed to take off your top plate here. Slide your top plate and wiggle it out. Pull it out and set it aside. There are 2 more screws that have to be removed. One right here in the front of the burner tube, as well as one on the back wall. This one is a tad bit different, so set it aside as it does have a flat spot on it so that it anchors in. Lift up on your burner tube, pull it out, and set it aside. Now that we have the burner tube on a protected surface, we have clear access to the igniter. Now the first thing I would do is check to see if the actual probe itself is damaged at all. Sometimes these electrodes will get singed down almost, where I've seen them when they melt back and it will not make a good connection. There is a metal spike that comes off of the housing that is close to the igniter portion, the electrode. So if that spike is damaged or if the actual electrode is damaged, it will not spark. And then of course, as I mentioned previously, inside that bottom drawer, if pans are too close to this portion of the igniter, it will spark off of here instead of sparking off of the casing. Now to remove your igniter, it is held on by 2 5/16 screws. Slide out the igniter from this bottom hole and set it aside. Now to install your igniter, first we will slide it in gently through the provided slotted area. Reinstall your first 5/16 screw. We will reinstall the second 5/16 screw. Now, while you have your burner tube out, it is highly recommended to check to make sure that your gas holes are clear of any cobwebs or grease or anything like that. Now we can reinstall the burner tube. When reinstalling your burner tube and igniter assembly, first we will start to slide it down and feed in the front. Next, just take a peek underneath and guide your burner tube back on top of the orifice. Now we can move it in the correct position. We will reinstall the back screw first. Next, we will reinstall the front burner tube screw. Next, slide in your back panel. Now on the front, it slides into a set of holes. This will allow it to move. We'll have to be in here correctly to go into position. Okay, so we slotted it in. So to get in there properly, we had to install the back portion first and then slide in the front portion into the slotted area, and we will reinstall the two screws. Now we will slide in our bottom panel, put it in at an angle, drop it into place. And when reinstalling these screws, sometimes it can be rather difficult. You will have to get it at the right angle and start to slide it in. Make sure it starts to thread. Tighten it down. We will do the same to the other side. Put it in at an angle and find where it threads. Make sure to use your screwdriver first. Once we are in, use your drill and tighten it up. Now we can reach under and plug in the igniter harness. Next, to reinstall your drawer, put it in at an angle. It will drop down. Slide it back in. Now we can reinstall the racks and door. When reinstalling your door, put the hinges in and get them in there so they rest, and bend your door back. A good rule of thumb is if the door bends down all the way. So if you do have to adjust it, just make sure your tabs are back in place, move it around. Door is down perfectly. We will slide the tabs back down, give it a close to make sure it's seating okay. Now we can reinstall our racks. Slide your racks back in, put them in at a tilt, and push them back. And this will complete your repair. Thank you for watching another quality video brought to you by ApplianceVideo.com.